What's up, guys? A.O.J King 13 here. Just showing off my completed Frog Monarch deck. I say it's completed because I've been doing, weeks of playtesting almost. Like, at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 weeks of playtesting. I don't really remember. But I've played so many varieties of different decks. I've played 2 different Ancient Gear decks, 2 different Burn decks, a couple Remove from Play decks, and even a Black Wings, and a Zombie and a Dark deck. And this deck usually comes out on top. I know I said decks a lot. I'm sorry. But, yeah, this build is usually the one that takes the match. So I'm just going to show it off. Please leave your comments below, especially on the side deck, because the side deck I kind of made, it's pretty random. But let's just get to it. 3 Dupe Frogs. He can search out any frog other than Dupe Frog when he hits the grave, and he can search from the grave or the deck. Also, when you have 2 of them on the field, your opponent cannot select any target other than Dupe Frog. So if there's 2 of them on the field, it makes a lock, which is awesome. 3 Swap Frogs. The special summon engine, you discard a water monster to special summon it. When he's summoned, you get to Foolish Burial a frog, so Treeborn, or another frog you want to add with your hand to your hand with another card later. And then once per turn, I can pop any monster on my side of the field to my hand, and I can have a extra normal summon of a frog, so he can swarm the field really, really easily. 2 flip-flops. 3 is just too much, I think. But it's really hard to it's all messed up. It's really hard to say that because many consider him the win condition. Basically, when he's flipped up, I can pop a number of my opponent's monsters back to his or her hand, and the number of opponent's monsters I can pop is equal to the number of frogs I have on my side of the field, so in this case, 2. But he can also be flipped down once per turn. Now, it doesn't say whenever he's flip summoned, it just says when he's flipped face up. So, attack into him, pop a monster. Don't attack into him, pop a monster. Really, really good. Treeborn Frog, I'm getting the ulti one in the mail, really excited about that. If he's in the grave and I don't have any magic or traps, I can special summon him during my standby phase, so he's good Monarch or Synchro food. 2 Substitoads, I can pop any number of monsters on my side of the field to special summon a frog, so good with brain control, or I can pop himself. If I have 2 frogs, I special summon a Swap Frog, and then I normal summon Substitoad. I'll get a Dupe Frog in defense mode. I'll get a flip-flop, and I'll put it back face down. Can't talk today. 2 Grizzlies, getting the common ones in the mail, so that's awesome. Deck thinning and 14 beats. Sangan to search. Gale to cripple stuff, and he's one of my tuners. 2 Junk Synchron, really good with frogs, because they're all level 2s. And Treeborn makes a Goyo, because I don't have a Brionic. Mobius, my least favorite Monarch, but, he's okay. 2 Caius, my most favorite Monarch. Yeah. When he's summoned, I can remove from play any card on the field, and if it's a dark monster, my opponent takes 1,000 life points. So, and Monarchs get priority, or priority, whatever you want to call it. So when he's summoned and your opponent's like Bottomless, okay, then I'll remove himself and you take 1,000. And early game, that might not be much, but late game, that could be a lot. Gorz, pretty staple. I'm getting the ultra rare one soon, so that's cool. And Jinzo, my anti-meta card. Pretty beast in this deck for some reason. I don't know. I really like how Jinzo works out. 2 Salvage. I get 2 water monsters with 15 attack or less back to my hand, so a lot faster than Pot of Avarice. Works well with special summoning Swap Frog, and then Foolish Burying, Foolish Burialing, like a flip-flop, so I can get a free flip-flop in my hand. MST, Trunade, heavy, pretty standard, staple. Back row destruction. Brain control didn't get touched by the ban list, thank God. Lightning 2 Fissures. I don't own a Smashing Ground, but I like Fissure because it's old school. This is started at Kaiba and this is started at Yugi, so really old school. 2 My Bodies, just beastly unless you're playing remove from play. And a Swords for setup. One of my favorite combos is Swords to Lightning Vortex. Really, really brutal. Traps, Royal Decree. Looking for the common ones, so if you got it, I value it at $1. So please PM me. Solemn, I'm getting a rare one in the mail. Torrential, Staple, Mirror Force, that's coming in the mail. I'm really excited about that. Thanks to Team Fell 12 for getting me this Japanese one like a couple months ago. And 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. I consider them staples this format. Or rather, last format, but continuing into this one. For the Synchro deck, well, first of all, Obelisk token. Maybe 5 stars for Obelisk token. The Synchro deck, Junk Warrior, 2 Android. You need Android in this deck. Because if you don't get the cards you need, but you can sync out really easy, it's almost as good. Catastor, Gaia Knight. Basically, this is my bottomless bait. Uruquizas, Goyo, Tin Goyo, yeah, be jealous. Black Rose, Ghost Ancient Fairy, Urbellum, Colossal, Thought Ruler, RDA, and 2 Stardust. One of those Stardust is going to turn into an Arcanite, and if anybody has Armory Arm, please PM me. Now for the side deck, Trag, Kuraz, just another Monarch. If I don't like Mobius, which I usually don't, Kuraz is pretty good against Lightsworn. 2 Soul Release. I kept going between 1 and 2, but I like 2. Another Lightning. Yeah, I don't know. Just in case if I get swarmed pretty hard. 2 Imperial Iron Wall, because I don't know how well Gladiolatos is going to be doing this format. I'm assuming very good, because of the Japanese meta. 2 Lights, because even though they're getting hit, they're still going to be around. So, and I don't run any light monsters, so that's always good. 2 Bribes. If you haven't noticed already, my side deck consists of a lot of traps, despite me running Jinzo and Royal Decree, but usually that's if I play Lightsworn. I'll side out Jinzo, Royal Decree, and Heavy Storm for a combination of 3 cards. 2 T-Roars for GBs, a Divine Wrath, randomly, as well as a random Froggy Force Field. Now, these 4 cards, or 5 cards, I couldn't decide on putting in the side deck or not, so please help me out. It's 2 creature swaps, a Mind Control, a Force Field, and another Divine Wrath. Or if you have any other suggestions for a side deck for frogs, please let me know. Keep in mind that I am not running a Wetlands build anymore, and it's doing amazingly without it. So, just, this is, you know, my deck. I'm going to be bringing it to locals March 6th. The first weekend the ban list really hits. Please leave your comments down here. Check out everybody in the sidebar, and peace out.